Jesus, as I said last week, John 7:38, Jesus is going to paradigm shift us out of flowing with emotions and teaching us how to flow with something else. So for us to have a significant Christian life, to where you and I are going to be effective and functional, not ineffective and dysfunctional. How many of you know you can have the Holy Spirit in you and still be a dysfunctional person? Right? Because now watch, listen, this is important. The goal of the Spirit being within you was not just to be resident. It was to flow, and so the word I'll pick there is to be president. He's either resident or he's president. If he's resident, you're dysfunctional because you still live by your emotions and your feelings. You're going to heaven, you're going to make it in because you're saved. But down here on the earth, in the period of time before you make the sweet by and by, you are a very dysfunctional person because emotions are flowing out of your life while the Spirit sits dormant. What God was going to teach me about the paradigm shift is that the Spirit of God, by His very nature, is not dormant. He's moving. This is why if you really want to see it play out, go to a Pentecostal church. That's why they're running, shouting, screaming, hopping, flipping. Why? They're expressing, even though it may be wild and not really fit, the program, so to speak. But the reality of that is that the Spirit of God was never intended to be dormant. This is why when you say dance, clap, shout, give Him a praise, sing it, give it all you got, that's why the first thing that kicks in is emotion. Well, I don't want to look stupid. Well, I can't dance. I sing like a wet paper sack. As my mother said about my dad last week. She sat there, she said, "Your daddy's so funny." I said, "Well, why is he so funny?" She said, "Well, he just sings as loud as he can and doesn't even know one word on the screen with all these new songs. And he's just singing away with his whole heart, just singing, and doesn't know one word." And she said, "And also, he's not even remotely on key. He's so far off key." Now, I know she's speaking truth because I heard him one time, thought, there's a dog in here somewhere. Something's going on with the speakers. There's something happening up here. And I looked out there, and Dad was just like, "Hey!" Just singing with his heart. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this from my perspective as a son. He really doesn't care. He doesn't care what you think about him. He thinks he's the most handsome person on the planet. He loves his bald head. I don't think he's struggling with emotional issues or depression. He's just as happy as a lark. So what you have to understand in your life is that it's a journey to go from head to heart.